Hello, everybody out there in YouTube. We are the middle-aged guys, and we're going to be bullshitting about, well, the state of virtual reality as it is in games today. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
The research group Superdata actually went ahead. They published a huge report and analysis. Black Friday is come and gone. The largest shopping season of the year has started, and one of the biggest shopping days of the year is come and gone. And after Black Friday came and went, people saw naturally a huge increase in the sales numbers of a lot of game consoles, a lot of games, and everything else. Superdata themselves, though, while they had noticed those trends for gaming as a whole, they had very, very grim news about the outlook for virtual reality. In fact, so much so that they've gone out of the way to say that that virtual reality as a whole is this holiday season's biggest loser. All right. In their words, thanks to notably fewer units sold than expected due to relatively fragmented title lineup and modest marketing effort, VR headsets are now expected to sell even fewer than they previously thought. Their initial forecast for 2016 for the PlayStation VR, they were expecting that they estimated out that PS4 VR was going to go ahead and sell 2.5 million units by the end of this year. Their forecast by the end of this year has now been revised to 750,000 units, which is less than, which is around a third, okay, which is, to be completely honest, all right? And it's not just PS VR. Google Daydream, which was initially expected to sell around 450,000 units, has actually only sold around 260,000 units, so a little less than half.
That many?
And then, what's up?
I say they sold that many?
Yeah. And then the estimates that they had for HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and Gear VR, those particular numbers for the HTC Vive, they said that they expected them to sell around 450,000. That remains unchanged. For the Rift, around 355,000. That remains unchanged. And the biggest winner, I guess, if you're looking just in VR sales number, is actually Gear VR, which has sold probably over 2.3 million units respectively. In fact, across the board, they say that over 90% of all the VR units are attached to mobile devices. So it's stuff like Gear VR or Google Cardboard or things like that, the stuff with folks with their, brand new Samsung 6s or 7s or whatever they have. This probably isn't this. I don't want to sit there and say we told you so or to gloat about it, but considering that we've been living in a world where everybody's been expecting VR ever since like 1992, this doesn't exactly surprise us. Before I go ahead and I start really gloating about it, I'm going to open up the floor. Give me your thoughts, guys, on this particular news.
I'll go ahead and say it. We told you so. Look, I wasn't a fan of VR to begin with. I just wasn't. Even though I told people if they're excited about it, fine. If they're going to get it, fine. Get it, enjoy it, embrace it, whatever. If you are going to be a fan of VR and you're going to get that shit for any platform, and if you enjoy it, that's fine. But I am not surprised. I am not surprised at all as far as, now wait a minute, how could they say that they expected their VR sales to be like half of the fucking, like for Sony's instance, wasn't that like almost or nearly half of the PS4 owners out there?
No. They were expecting to sell 2.5 million units by the end of this year.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, not 20 million units.
Oh, okay.
That would be half the installation base.
You see, here's the thing about that too. You have to, you got to get a fucking PS4 Pro in order to have it efficiently. And then, no, dude. I mean, look, It's not like I can't have that. I just don't. No, it just doesn't suit my needs as far as gaming or gaming experience. Yes, I've gone to game stores and I've seen PlayStation VR stuff, games and stuff like that. But I just don't see people talking or even like, oh my God, PlayStation VR. I haven't seen any of that.
Yep.
I just haven't. So I don't know. They expected all these sales and then no.
Nope.
I mean, come on, be completely honest. Are there any VR games from any platform that you were totally excited about that you just were like, okay, yeah, I want to try that, or I have to have it?
There isn't, the funny thing is that I think the killer app for VR right now is the Resident Evil 7 kitchen demo. And that's just a demo, really. But aside from that, there really isn't a killer app for it.
What, not the Arkham VR? Not.
No.
Yeah,
no.
there's a Batman freaking.
Yeah, no, that was definitely not the killer app for it.
Yeah.
What about you, Grey Mouse? What are your thoughts on this particular news?
Yeah, I'll kind of echo with what Azim said. We've already mentioned this before. I just don't think that technology is there yet to have a full functioning virtual reality. I mean, to where, you see in the movies and whatnot type of that virtual reality, like Avatar, that type of virtual reality. We just don't have the technology now to do that. And I've been to several stores like Target and Walmart, on these other retails, and yeah, I see the PlayStation 4, virtual reality games sitting on the shelves with stacks and stacks of games behind it. Nobody's picking them up. And I think one thing too is your price range. I mean, because it's too pricey for the normal consumer. It's almost like a full console, buying a full console just to get the VR. Nobody's ready to.
Again, to your point, you have to have the fucking updated console, like the PS, like in PlayStation's instance.
Well, to add on to that, it will work with your PlayStation 4, but it won't work efficiently. And even with the PlayStation Pro, people are saying it's the Pro still doesn't get enough computing power to do what to do VR efficiently.
But then, going back to what you just said, as far as the technology, it's not. Yeah, and it's too fucking expensive.
The funny thing about that is that gamers are a pretty flippant bunch, and we're given a good reason, we are very ready to separate with our hard-earned cash.
Okay, I can go past that as far as a gamer.
One of the things that I want to go ahead and point out, especially when it comes to the super data research that was come up, the Stephanie Yamas, the director of research at Superdata, when she was asked about it, she explained that Sony failed monumentally in marketing VR. One of the things that they had was that, in her words, PSVR had the best opportunity to benefit from the holidays, but their supply inconsistencies and lack of marketing have put them behind their potential. They did not offer any first-party deals this weekend, restock bundles, or market the device, pushing instead for the PS4 Pro. They also pointed out that VR looks even better on a Pro than a standard or slim PS4, so the message to most gamers turned out to be, get the Pro now, then the PSVR later. As a result, you won't see them to break the 1 million shipments until into the new year. So, as far as what was loaded into the pipe and everything, if there was one or the other, all right, let's just be completely honest, okay? PS4 VR is not going to sell as much as they wanted for this Christmas season. Guess what else isn't going to sell as much as they want for this Christmas season? The PS4 fucking Pro. That's not going to sell as much as they want for this reason.
That was one thing I wanted to talk to add on to what you were saying, is that the PlayStation Pro has underperformed in just about every which way possible.
Yeah.
We have people. You could go on the YouTube and check people where they're comparing the PlayStation Pro versus PlayStation 4. And yeah, there is a little upscale with the graphics and everything, but the PlayStation 4 Pro was not designed with
For the past games.
With virtual reality as much. I hate to say this. Scorpio, the Xbox One's answer to this PlayStation 4 is a virtual reality. It's supposed to be a virtual reality machine, and that's why it's going to cost another systems times 2. It's going to be about $800, just the way it is. He already said it. But anyway, I regress. But with PlayStation Pro, yeah, it's performing. It's below standard. Some people even say just get a Slim. It really is no big difference between a Pro and a Slim.
I might have heard that. All right.
But it's I don't know. I guess like you said, the PlayStation VR, Sony failed that whole thing, with their marketing, like you said.
No, wait. But here's the thing too. It's not like gamers didn't know that was coming out. Especially, like the marketing thing. What the fuck were they going to market with it? Especially, as the Reverend said, there's not a killer app for it.
The other problem that they have with the games that are out there, and the thing is that this has been one of the biggest technical critiques of PS4 VR, is that the thing with VR is that it takes a moment for users to go ahead and acclimate themselves to the VR experience and everything. PS4 VR, as far as the games that are built around or being offered for the PS4 VR, they pretty much just kind of shove the player into it. All right. And one of the things that Stephanie Yamas, the director of Insight over there at Superdata, said was that the way that the games are now is that they're everything that they're offering is teaching anybody who's even interested in VR is that if you're interested in VR on the PS4, you are going to be you have to be interested in getting sick within 45 minutes, within 15 minutes of playing this thing.
Oh, is that a fact?
That's
what's going?
No, almost all of the biggest complaints of like majority of the VR titles out there is that look, there is nothing eases you into the experience of getting into the virtual reality space. You're there, all right, and then it just jumps and shoots you down the fucking chute, where it's like you don't have a choice. You're gonna get fucking sick.
No, wait. When you usually talk about a gaming console or anything like that, especially if it's going to be, quote unquote popular, when you go to most gaming stores, like GameStop, for example, or even Target back in the day or something like that, you will actually see, or you can actually sample the fucking console and one or two games that are on there. No one is, besides going to E3 or things like that, you can't really sample VR. So as far as jumping into it and just paying that a lot of money without even sampling it first, or without even, testing it out or saying that, hey, yeah, I can get into this shit, most gamers are not just going to jump into that. Especially if every game that you buy is not going to be compatible with it, as far as giving you a VR experience. I don't see that. Like if you were to play, I don't know, like Street Fighter V, that's not going to give you a VR experience. It's just going to have everything right in front of you, but it won't give you a VR experience. You might as well get closer to your TV at that point. Yeah, I mean, it's just that you can't even sample it. You can't sample it out. If I were to sample this thing and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, maybe I can get into this for about 30 minutes a day, as the Reverend was saying, longer than 45 minutes, you're going to get sick. Fuck that. type of advertisement. Okay, it's a big improvement from Redness 20 years ago, but no.
That's what I was saying. I don't want to get sick playing games. Just, no.
Well, we can get sick of games and send games out the window when we get frustrated, but we don't want to get sick playing them.
So what?
Literally.
Am I supposed to have a bucket beside me, throw up every 45 minutes? I mean,
you just have to be glad that it's not like a welding visor.
I know. But I mean, there's one genre that would benefit 100% fully for a 3D. Well, there's a couple flight simulators and like horror survival. I think those games are made for VR.
Wait, Doom could be.
It's rather rough as far as if you want a Doom experience in VR and you want to be able to play that for an extended period of time, you're gonna have to slow that experience down by a lot.
So I mean, flight simulators, space simulators,
maybe racers.
Yeah,
maybe racers. Yeah, there's only certain genres that will fit.
Because if you're doing a flight simulator, you can't be going too slow on those.
No, but like the horror, survival horror, that genre that is what you would want virtual reality for.
Silent Hill.
Huh? Exactly. But Resident Evil 7. But like what I was saying, I mean, I just feel for me. For all those people out there that may like VR.
And that's another thing too. They expected for this to be a family novelty thing as well. To have motherfuckers in one room with 3 or 4 or 5 VRs in there playing some games. Fuck that.
4 or 5 buckets to throw up in every 45 minutes.
No, but they wanted it to be even a multiplayer experience within the home, and I'm like, fuck that shit. Not for especially for the mediocre games that they have. I'm not going to spend $3,000 for that. No, fuck that. I'm talking about for a lot of VR things.
Yeah, I don't know of any active multiplayer games for VR right now.
And I was just about to bring that point up. What was besides rigs for the PlayStation 4?
No, there's a lot of titles. There
is, but see, and there's a lot of titles, but no one knows what the fuck they are. No one really has heard of them. No one's really excited for them. No one is like, oh my god, everyone has to get this shit.
Yeah, but that already goes over a point that we already covered. Like
exactly.
As far as this goes right now, I'd have to say that with VR, the technology is interesting, and I have to go ahead and actually, I'll tip my hat to Sony to actually being willing to go ahead and jump in to explore different ways to experience games. All right.
But what if like I say, okay, what if
I have here's my point. Okay, look, but that doesn't mean that as far as it goes, that doesn't mean that this is something that they've hit out the park. I don't know if the industry is even 20 years or 20 plus years after the Virtual Boy, and like said, 22 years later than Lawnmower Man, or 25 years later than Lawnmower Man. I don't think the industry is quite ready for that particular experience, because as far as technology has come, it's not going to create the technology from what people think that VR is going to give them. It's not going to give them the fucking holodeck on fucking.
That's the point. Exactly. That's the point I was going to make. This is not the fucking holodeck. On the Enterprise. Sorry, what happened.
And that's we're probably going to take another 25 fucking years before we even get anywhere close to that.
Nope. I give it 2 more centuries.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those things where I can applaud their efforts, but you know what? The only people that that Sony or anybody else who's thrown their hat into VR has to go ahead and blame for the abysmal state of VR sales is the folks who have been pushing VR from the very fucking beginning.
What about the Xbox Scorpio? Do you think that this is going to be in the same boat?
Yep.
Or do you actually think that this is going to do better than the PlayStation VR, considering the fact that the PlayStation VR, by the time the Scorpio comes out, PlayStation VR is at least going to have a library of games, and it's going to be cheaper. The Scorpio is going to come out expensive, and the library of games are going to be...
Well, here's the thing. As far as it goes, I think what we have to consider here, and the one question that a lot of the game media hasn't asked is that what sort of influence on the actual gameplay experience is this going to offer that people can't get anywhere else? All right, is this going to really transform the experience for gamers that they're going to be willing to shell out $400, $500, $600, $800 for a whole setup? All right.
For a basic, so for a Kinect to go on my face, no.
That's how much it costs for Vive. It's like $800 for a Vive. All right, and then we have everything else, but we covered that in a previously made video. The thing that I am more concerned of is whether or not developers are able to actually sit there and jump into this space properly to be able to give gamers a good enough experience. Well, give them an actual game experience that's going to mean more than just being able to fucking paint shapes in fucking 3D or to be a fancy tech demo. Okay,
then you better make a Steel Battalion with VR and have tank parts everywhere.
That would be a start, but
that's what I mean. Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen.
That would be a start, and that's one possibility. There's a whole bunch of other things that they can do, but if it's all executed under the same parameters and with the same care and forethought that they have for the offerings that they've given us right now, then it's I really don't know what people are going to be looking for and whether or not they're actually going to be giving gamers a reason to go out of their way and spend that extra cash. I'm just being honest about that. Right?
Even the novelty of the PlayStation VR, you can actually watch your movies like that.
I mean, cinema mode is nice, I guess, if you don't want to sit there and turn on the TV and have bug somebody else, or if they want to go ahead and use it. But what's the point at that point? Was there anything else that we wanted to say about this particular one, folks?
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Yeah, I got something to say, just real quick. This is not a bash on VR, and it's not a bash on people that like VR. I mean, there are those out there that's their thing. Right now, at the current state of VR, in my opinion, I'm not interested at all. And like I said in the previous videos that we've done on VR, is that the technology is not there enough for me to gain an interest. And I don't think it's going to be there for 200, 300 more years until we have a full holodeck experience.
See, I concur with what you just said. It's not that, but here's the thing. It's not just technology, but the games. The games are the most important aspect to it because, like I said, if they had a Steel Battalion VR,
well, I mean,
that would be like a reference. That would be a start.
Let's look at it in a different perspective. Let's look at it outside of the gaming industry. Let's say you have not been to Bali before, or Hawaii, or California,
or that you're gonna spend,
whatever. That you can get
money that you're going to spend on VR, you might as well get a plane ticket.
Well, now is what I'm saying. So, I mean, VR can be applied in almost everything, but it's just not there yet. The technology's not there yet.
No. I mean, if you're sitting there, you're just taking a virtual tour of something. The existing VR is fucking cool. But the thing is that I don't see the folks who are doing Airbnb who sit there and do timeshare and rentals. sitting there and investing on the infrastructure to sit there and say, hey, look, we'll give you the virtual tour of this fucking apartment that you're going to be rooming in, and here are all the items, the furniture and appliances you can fucking steal because you guys are it anyways, after you stay in there for a month.
That's fine and dandy, but like, for example, it can be used as practical applications like putting in an engine together in virtual reality. It actually gives you how to do things, how to build things. So, but I mean,
doing surgery, and other things like that. Until somebody walks in the room and yells Xbox off,
or turns the PlayStation off.
Yeah.
Or if someone just comes and just press the button on your controller and you don't fucking realize it because you can't fucking see it. You got that helmet. You got that RoboCop helmet on your shit.
Yeah, we've gone off in left field on this.
No, we haven't. That shit could happen. That's a part of the subject here.
So yeah, VR. I would like to know those people out there.
If you do have the VR of any sort, tell us your experience with it. And I really want to know positive experience with this thing or any of the VRs, if there is any.
Yeah. Okay, and I think that's a good place to go ahead and wrap this particular video up. Like we said just a few seconds ago, what are your thoughts on this? Are you surprised at the state of VR when it comes to the gaming industry, especially considering that is woefully underperforming for what the folks in charge of the gaming industry would want it to be? Is this really the biggest loser of the holiday season? That's something that we all got to think about. While you're at it, hit that subscribe button, hit that like. We are the middle-aged guys. We've just been bullshitting about the state of PS4 VR and actually a lot of the VR things in the industry for the last 30 minutes. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Trey Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense logic and gaming. What, the biggest loser of the holiday season? No, that would be the NES Mini if they don't fucking come out with more of them. Better come out with more of those so we can get them. ASA fucking P before Christmas. Credits.
That ain't happening.